Right going? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, once again, we do not have, we haven't reset our laptop yet, so, our Chromebook, so our audio monitoring will once again be fingers crossed. So if you see me talking and don't hear the audio, hopefully that comes across as mention something in chat. And then we'll just one more thing that we're waiting on. All right, we're waiting for one more monitor to come on. While that's going, we're going to continue mending some tools. We did not get to that last night. Okay. Hopefully the audio is coming through though. Welcome in everybody. We are day 571. We are at our skeleton mine doing some tool mending over at Inkwood. After this, we're going to go do some digging. And once we finish that, well, while we're digging, we're looking for copper. So we're basically trying to get enough copper that we can finish our roof on our inn/tavern. So we can then start working on walls and maybe some inside decor. Our first goals are kind of to like footprint out where it goes, then 3D footprint, kind of get the look, and then we'll start texturing the outside, roof, basement, whatever, across all of our builds. And then start decorating inside as our last item. And with the focus being on places that are in the novel that we're trying to write. And once we have that kind of fleshed out, we'll take the facades and other empty spaces and kind of fill those in with more details and character and give the world a little more lived in feel. At least that's the goal. Thought we were going to get to show off our cat cam for a minute there. Oh yeah, we didn't mend all of our tools nearly enough. So we typically do about an hour of Minecraft. Sometimes if we're on a streak, we'll go a little longer. And just as a base, if there's more activity in chat, then we're more likely to stay longer. Thursdays are a Minecraft only day. Tomorrow will actually be a double game day and Saturday. So Fridays and Saturdays are Satisfactory and Minecraft. So I don't know which we'll do in the morning and afternoon. Sometimes we do, I guess, Minecraft mornings so that we can do Satisfactory in the evening and then Satisfactory in the morning Saturday. It just keeps the flow of the stream a little easier, at least until we get some kind of automation going to change the titles and whatnot. Yeah, but we'll see. because we could also do it the other way around. We could do, well, Satisfactory in the morning tomorrow, Minecraft at night, and then Minecraft Saturday afternoon and Satisfactory in the evening. That would also work. So either way, we'd have to change it again because Sundays and Mondays are Minecrafter days. And kind of while we mend our tools, it looks like everything's coming up. Satisfactory, we're working on our iron node. So we're kind of doing a hub and spoke model is our goal. So we need one tier for reinforced plates and let's see that one, rotors. And then another layer on that building for smart plates. I think that's all we have at this point in that tech tree. And then we'll move on to looking at copper, probably, or maybe sulfur. Probably copper, and then move on to sulfur, cadmium, the other things. And things like cadmium, I don't think have as many resources, so iron will probably be the tallest, I'm guessing. I have to look at the tech tree again, followed by copper, and then your sulfur and cadmium will be smaller nodes. They won't be as tall because you have, I guess, cadmium ingots. And I guess you can turn that into a few tier 1, tier 3 things, but you don't have as many. You don't have cadmium rods and screws and plates the same way that you do with the other things. So things should start speeding up once we get the iron done because it's going to produce a lot of what we need. We just have to keep it powered. So yeah, so as we're unlocking our space elevated phases and our other little mini tiers, we'll have them, should have most of the materials going. It's just a matter of picking them up and dropping them off and see how far we can get. Because once we get trains, that's going to change a lot. We'll should be able to use that to power our builds, our nodes. And that's kind of where phase 1 planning ends. Once we get that, then we start thinking about what we want to do next. Things for view, aesthetics, things like that. Planet Crafter, we're currently working out of a central base. We're using the foundation as a road with rails, so that it's a little easier to drive around. We got that done well, the road to the other side of a lake done. So we still need to make the road to the aluminum, I think is our first stop. Then we need to figure out what other resources are kind of our bottlenecks and work our way down. So I think we want to work on our torchlight there, so we have a better flashlight. I think the vehicle speed, vehicle capacity. Maybe look at some of the rocket stuff to help speed up some of the terraforming. Ideally, maybe like a GPS 2. I think we might have already had that, but that would be helpful. And then just seeing how far we can unlock. I think the auto crafter is probably one that we want to work on. I don't know what his range is and if it's spherical or a ring, but it sounds like we could just put chests or cabinets of like aluminum, silicon, titanium, the parts for like super alloys, and it will just make it. So I think we're going to focus our terraforming on whatever, heat, oxygen, whatever unlocks that. And getting to teleporter will be nice as well. Because if we can teleport between locations, then the road will be less of an issue. So I guess that's another thing. I guess we can just kind of have the road where we have it now, so we can go here and there. I don't know if it needs to be directly to that, because I don't know how the teleporter actually works. But anyway, that's something that we'll find out over the next couple of weeks and months as we do Satisfactory on Fridays and Saturdays and Minecraft on Sundays and Mondays. Yesterday we only did Minecraft, but Wednesdays are Wildcard Wednesdays. So if anyone in the chat has a game they want us to try, we're open to that. We've done A Little to the Left twice, and then the last 2 weeks we haven't done anything, but we're kind of saving that for chat. So if it's something I have installed, kind of fits the vibe of the channel, we'll go with it. If I don't have it installed, I guess it depends on how big it is. If I can install in time for stream, otherwise it'll be something else that day, and I'll install it and give it a try maybe the following week. And I think we're only going to mend up our silk touch for today before we head out. We're about a sixth of the way through our stream. We started a little bit later today. We were working on some recipes for, well, it'll probably be done sometime tonight, so it'll probably be for breakfast tomorrow. If it goes well, I'll show it off then, and if it doesn't go well, well, I won't show it off, but I'll mention what went wrong. There's no sense in everybody making a mistake if anybody's interested in doing it. All right, so how much, I don't know, I don't know. Do we have anything we could drop off? Not really. Well, we don't have that, so let's do that maybe. Can drop off the bones. And we picked that up. We did. Oh, we can't pick that up. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna go surface-wise. I think we're not mended enough, but I keep meaning to load this up on the Switch while we're doing some of our writing projects. I'm just doing the mending. Let it fill up with the. Oh yeah. Thanks for being here. I guess we have two good projects. One for tonight, and one for in the morning. So we'll share both of those once they're done, if they turn out okay. The writing projects, one is a, well, two are novels, one is a Substack project. One is the world that we're building here in Minecraft. And the other is unrelated, just a test project. I think we took some dirt back before, so let's go see what is in here that we can make use of. Stone. Dirt. Nope. Oh, you don't need the granite. Probably thought that was something else. I mean, cobblestone we can always change into stone, so there's that. Gravel isn't bad to have. Overmorrow is kind of our first stop because it's where spawn is, so not too worried about sending most stuff back there. And then a little farther along, you'll have Barter's Bay, which has a lot of stuff too. I don't know. Granite. Yeah. Andesite for the bow. But what we can do is grab some more copper. Drop it off. Okay. And oh, we're out of copper now. Okay. Well, we have whatever copper's in there. Okay. So we do have still a little bit to go. But we are going to need to get more copper. So when I have, I'm going to say a good 4, maybe 5 stacks to really make sure that we have enough. And also, if we end up having a little bit more than we need for the tavern, that'll be fine because I think we're going to go with copper and then dark, obsidian, clay, wool, things like that for the roofs and Inkwood here. So the dark roofs for leaning into the ink side of things, and the copper roofs for the changing effect. So I don't think we'll wax them. I think we'll just let them change, and then we can periodically scrape off the oxidation with our axe, and then let it re-oxidize so it makes the buildings feel a little bit more alive and a little more character. So if you're reading the story and then going through here, roofs will be kind of changing as you go. At least that's the plan that we're going with for now. All right. And that's kind of our other goal too, not just doing all of the terraforming first and then doing the building. It's terraforming enough to get the resources we need if we don't have them already, so that we can sprinkle in detail days amongst the diggy days and go from there. So we can see things actually start to come together that aren't just terrain ideas. All right, and time goes fast when you're doing the terraforming because we're almost a third of the way through our stream now. And even though Wednesdays are the kind of wild card day, if anyone has any games they want us to do next Wednesday, you don't have to wait till next Wednesday. You can mention that now. Right. Is that? Oh, that's a cave there. Okay. But I don't think there's. Oh, that's just a shallow cave. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's dig this line through. Oh, let's try not to use a shovel too much because it needs repairs, but see how much of this we can get done here. Right. Okay, so that's not quite up there, but I think that's good. It doesn't need to be quite sheer on the edge. Oh, and yesterday, where was it? Oh, there's water in there? Oh. we did some blasting and got it down fairly low. And that does speed things up. But we went through like 3 stacks of TNT to be able to do that. So it's a bit rough on the TNT. I mean, we could probably figure out a more optimal placement. So that each one chain reacts off the other and clears out the most material, but we can also just collect all the material by hand. Because we do want to go a little slower, not racing to get it done. That gives us time to think about the story and chat as well. If we were just going for speed, we would just make a copy of the world and turn it creative and get it done really quickly because we could just use commands to clear out large chunks. But this is Bedrock Survival, so we're trying to slow things down a bit. All right. So I guess we're getting a little quiet. I guess getting into the zone of just clearing out sections of stone, but which isn't all it necessarily is exciting, but it's easy to get lost in the process. All right. I think we'll try to get as much of this little section here to the left done as we can before we sleep. And we'll do it again. Because we didn't use the TNT over here, so this will be the longer side. Then that's rough, but it goes down to 40. So hopefully this speeds it up enough that it's a matter of a few weeks to get it down versus longer. And we do need to get Oasis City and stuff like that started to go, but all right. All right. Yeah, making pretty good progress here. Oh, we got did we get that? Yeah, we got that section down. So yeah, we'll just do a little extra as soon as we start seeing some mobs. We'll head out and sleep and come back. Do it again for another 30 minutes or so and go from there. And this is one of our other side that we've gotten down below. I think that's 20 or 10, something like that. So we're trying to get them all down. And phase 1, 2, and 3 is getting each side down to white 0. And then later phases, 4, 5, 6 will be getting them down to bedrock. Phasing it out so we're not taking all the time to do this. Mixing it up, going back to Haven's End. We haven't been to Haven's End in a while to do some stone there. We're still at about 800,000 slabs out of 1 million that we need to put down. So we need to go back there at some point. But since these projects are kind of multi-year projects, maybe we'll stagger it a little bit to be overworld stuff now, and then back to Havens and next year. Not that it would be exclusive, but welcome in Georgia. How's it going? Get some stone in here. Got some diorite, some dirt, more stone. Okay. Stone. We got some gravel in there. Okay. Guess we're gonna put it here. Diorite, stone, and stone. Okay. Let's head back out. Look at that. It's looking, when you look at that coming down and seeing that the depth of it, it's looking good. It's gonna be a lot of time invested in doing this, but I think it's a nice nice effect with the ravine, and not necessarily trying to do just enough to get it across, but enjoy the process as well. So we could probably get away with just taking it down to 30 or 40, like whatever that level is would probably be deep enough. But we really want to like lean into the importance of having to cross the bridge and making it a little more like cozy, ominous. That's the kind of goal there. Or menacing, but not too on the dark side. All right. All right. Okay. So we should be. Oh, we were a little late starting too. Okay. Yeah, because we have a book meeting we could go to now, but I think we'll hold off and maybe we'll catch the tail end of it. What is our time? So we're about halfway through, a little over halfway through our stream, so I think we can get this section done. Maybe one more layer. We'll see how far we can go on another layer. Let's not go through there, so we don't want to fall down the hole. All right, and let's cut back over. So that's the plan for the rest of the stream today. Looking for copper while we cut this down another couple layers. We have found some, but not as much as we need. So we have, what, 3 or 4 stacks in the furnace of the copper ore. But we need a lot more. It was, what, 9 ingots to a block, so it takes a lot. All right. Oh yeah, we'll just do this. That works. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is going pretty good. We might actually get to the second layer because we're making really good time here. And we might even complete the second layer that we were talking about too. And then we have to head off. So we need to keep it close to an hour so that we can try to catch the end of that book meeting and also get to some of our writing projects and need to brush up on some of our NAN stuff. See if we can automate some of the like restream and descriptions and stuff like that, so that it's a little easier to change games. So right now we just keep descriptions in Notepad, and update it there, and then copy and paste it in. And we could have an incrementer there, but it'd be better if we had a way to connect to Blue Sky and find the last occurrence of the game. Or actually, yeah, I guess connecting to Blue Sky would kind of help, but we can make a mistake there, so. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter too much. Because the other thing I was thinking of is YouTube where the bonds go, but the description that goes to Restream, well, yeah, the description in Restream is what would go to YouTube, but that's not what goes to Blue Sky. So I guess it could be kind of a double ledger kind of thing where you check Blue Sky and that, and if they're different, I flag it. In any case, it's wanting to be consistent with the days and heaven. Update properly, and to be able to just change the game name in like a drop down or something, and then all of the descriptions would change in Blue Sky, Restream, whatnot. Which if we automate it, then I guess we really only need the first instance to be correct. Because then as long as it's pulling it from a file and that's getting implemented, if Blue Sky and Restream are getting updated together, then everything should be good. I guess if one of those fails would be the trick, so we'd probably want some kind of check. Like increment something locally and then take that number and then check both YouTube and Restream. Or I guess maybe yeah, increment the number and then compare that against YouTube and Restream, making sure that it's decremented by 1. So that would show that we're actually advancing in both only by 1 and not by more than 1. That makes sense. So we're daily 571. So if YouTube and Blue Sky are showing 571 and we increment it to 572, we're good. But if like Blue Sky was at 570 and YouTube was 571, when we increment it to 572, one of them would be off by 2, which would mean that a day was missing. Long-winded way of saying that accounting for errors and data integrity can be a lot of work, a lot of extra little work. So it just depends, I guess, on how important it is too. Because as long as it doesn't happen often, we could always manually edit the days too if it does end up becoming off. All right. What was that? Huh. I wonder what's going on. We're halfway into our stream and we're doing okay on Twitch, but I don't see a lot of viewers on the TikTok side. Which I guess on that note, we are trying to make affiliate on Twitch and we are trying to get to 1,000 followers or with a stopover at 500 on TikTok. If our food things go well, we'll post some food across our socials, but not necessarily in Minecraft. Anyway, if you like the story back builds, feel free to stick around and like and follow. And if you really like it, feel free to share it out. Okay, let's. All right. How much of this can we get done? Maybe we can use that creeper. But we got 2 creepers. Perfect. Save us on some TNT. Which we have a creeper farm at Overmorrow, which we used to get our gunpowder. But it takes a little while to build one, so I don't know if it would be worth it to build one here or not. And TNT is much more controlled than trying to wrangle creepers where we want them to explode. And we can't really control frequency. So we could get a bunch in a small spot and then ignite one and trigger it that way, I guess. But if any get out, it's like TNT that chases you. 1 is probably okay, but 2 or 3 is not going to be a good day. Okay. Oh. I have plenty of coal in, so let's get back to it. Because we are now 2/3 of the way through our stream. Another 20 minutes to go, and then we'll have to head off. All right. All right, yeah, we're getting quiet again, so let's keep going here. Down to 46, that's not bad. We made good progress, so I think we can get it down to 45 with our time left. And we'll need to mend our tools again. Okay. Well, we've got, what, 3 back and downs, and then fill in the water, and then go from there. Do we have any? We do have some, is it? No? Okay. Okay, takes care of all those. So a few source blocks are taken care of, and now the water's done. There we go. So we didn't have to fill it all in. We just had to take out the source blocks. All right. Let's take this down, actually. Try to get it all down together. All right. All right. Yeah, making progress. We'll take this over to the wall. We're down to our last 15 minutes, so we're 3/4 of the way through our stream. Oh, and it looks like we cut through over here anyway. Okay, so that's good. All right. Progress. So we won't get it all down to 45 in today, but we'll get it all down to 46. That's still pretty good. You know, and how many thousands of blocks that we've done. That's something that we don't have to do tomorrow, so that'll be good. Ooh, thank you for the like, Connie. Welcome in. How's the Thursday going? And do you play any Minecraft or other games? And let's take out the stone. I guess we have enough durability. We can take out the gravel. And I still need to make that into a correct command, but we do Minecraft every day. We announced that on Blue Sky. We typically shoot for weekdays between 10 and 11 a.m. Pacific time starting, and then for about an hour. Occasionally, days like today, we start a little bit later because we have other things that kind of come up. Fridays and Saturdays, we also do Satisfactory, and Sundays and Mondays are Planet Crafter, in addition to Minecraft. Wednesdays are wildcard days, so if you have a game you want me to try, you can mention it anytime, and if it's something that fits with kind of the goals of the channel, then we'll add it to the docket for a Wednesday stream. That way, if it's something we can complete on Wednesday streams, we will. Otherwise, it can go on the docket to replace like Satisfactory, Planet Crafter, unlock everything in those, and more or less finish them. And yeah, we're late today because we were working on some food stuff. So if it goes well, we'll share that tomorrow. And if it doesn't go well, we'll just talk about rolling around. Because no sense in not being able to learn from a pool of mistakes. All right. Let's go. Oh, and thank you for all of the likes as well. Very much appreciated. We're doing this and the writing projects in hopes that we can do this more or less full time, but we'll see how it goes. We are doing it full time for the time being, but well, not really full time. We're doing it every day. We're prioritizing the writing projects. Otherwise, we probably would do this more. Once we get a couple of the writing projects out of the way, then we'll probably shift to doing 2, 3, 4-hour streams. It doesn't mean that it'll all be the same game, but it'll be 2 of Minecraft, 2 of something else, or 3 of Minecraft, something else. Who knows? Who knows? But I would like to do it more. Oops. All right, so I don't want to use any more of the shovel, and I really don't want to use too much more of our pickaxe either because we're starting to get low on durability. We are in kind of the last 10 minutes, so maybe we'll do a little bit here and then head over to our skeleton farm and spend the last 10 minutes today. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. So we'll finish out the next 30 seconds or so, and then that'll give us 9 minutes to spend on mending. And I think we're going to head out because I don't want to deal with the spider and creeper. Not that we couldn't handle them, but since we're leaving anyway. All right. Oh, we were gonna try. We were going to head over to our skeleton XP farm. Yeah, not something I would advise doing without without elytra and okay. Feather falling boots. So let's go in here. Do we have anything we can take out here? I guess, nope, none of them have really grown. I don't want to take the one that's growing on the calcite. Okay. But this is a nice find of having these, this geode here next to our spawner, which I mentioned several times, but it is such a good find that I'm going to mention a few more times. It means that we can be in its proximity, can be growing the amethyst while we're finding tools. So we're going to spend the next little bit here. We'll get to an hour, maybe a little bit less. We might cut it a little bit short since we're just minting tools. So with that, yeah, we'll get maybe 55, start our outro, and see how it goes. But again, feel free to mention games that anyone wants us to try on Wednesdays. Minecraft is our core, but I don't mind throwing in other games for a little variety, different kinds of fun and inspiration, both for things to build in Minecraft and for other stories. So we'll see how that goes. And we have little plans that we want to implement, like structure-wise, kind of like this, where we save the last 5 or so minutes of a stream doing like tool mending if we're not like in the middle of a big build and it's easy to do, just to keep tools maintained. So if we're doing like the tavern or something like that, and we're just doing a little bit of tool work, we can always come here, spend the last 5 minutes, kind of talk about what we're doing, mend the tools, and then they're prepared for later instead of wearing the tools down to a couple percent and then bringing them back. At least that's one of the plans we have. Not that we would do it every time if we're in Haven's End. We do have the blaze spawner there, but if you're on the other side of Haven's End, traveling 1,000 blocks can be time consuming. If you're walking, and we don't have it cleared out enough to Elytra, but even with Elytra, it's still going to take a little bit. So when it's feasible, we'll spend the last 5 minutes of streams kind of mending tools, or maybe start streams there. Then lay out what we plan to do for that day at the beginning of a stream, and when we're doing our tool mending at the end, like about what we want to do the next day. Add a little structure to some of that as we go along and get a little bit more projects underway. Meaning to put a little more planning around some of them. Right. Doing okay. Maybe we lost one. Anyway, well. Let's go here. Oh yeah, our can't hear audio. Okay. What are we at? Oh, we're a little farther than 55. Okay, so I guess we'll start our outro now. So, say thank you. Thank you, Connie, and everyone else for all of the likes and follows. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining day 571 of The Journey Begins. If you want to see other projects we work on or have links back to here, you can find us on linktree/mindshirtmedia. That will be on the outro screen as well. That will have links to our TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. YouTube is where the long-term VODs live. It will also have Pinterest and Blue Sky. Blue Sky is where we make our go live announcements. So we give at least 10 minutes morning. If we're going to cancel a stream, we'll give as much warning as we can. Same thing for rescheduling. Any projects like the Substack and things like that, once they're at a point worth sharing, then I'll put those out there as well. So it's our collection of our projects, so you can follow us there if you like. And if you really like what we're doing, you can share it out. And with that, we will see you for a double stream tomorrow, Satisfactory and Minecraft. And yeah. And in the case of Minecraft, we'll see you tomorrow for day 572 of the journey begins. And Satisfactory will be working on our iron node. Have a good rest of your Thursday, and we will see you tomorrow for a Friday stream.